Welcome students. So today we are going to start a topic which is comes under the logical reasoning topic, that is seating arrangement. Okay. So as we know, this is an important topic as frequently the questions are being asked from this topic. So we'll be going in detail on how to tackle this topic, what all things we need to know basically to crack these questions based on seating arrangement. Okay. So if we're just going to the first question, two type of questions are mainly being asked in our exams. That is from the linear arrangement and from the circular arrangement. Okay. Now, if you're just going through the linear arrangement part, just if you're just discussing the basics before going to the questions, basically there are basically two forms of questions that could be asked from the linear arrangement. Okay, the one is the number of persons who are there. All are facing north. Okay. The other case that could come is the persons who are there, five, six, or seven. That depends on the question. So how many people are there? All of them are facing the south direction. Okay. Now if they are facing the north direction, we need to just know the right and left basically. So the right direction is towards this side. Okay. So right we are just pointing it out. Right is towards this side and left is towards the opposite. Okay. The normal right and left. So when we are facing the north, it is basically towards the east. Towards the east, we are having the right, and towards the west is the left portion. Okay. Then we just need to know which position is the extreme right and extreme left. So as you know, right is towards east. So the last position is basically our extreme right position. Okay, and the extreme left has to be the last position to the left side. Okay, so these many details you just need to know to do the questions, and one or two points as well. If they are giving, just a second. So say if they are giving a point that, okay, we're just discussing that as well. Okay. Okay. Now, if they're giving a statement like A sits second to the left of. Okay. Say if a point is being given that A sits second to the left of. Okay. And I have just placed B in this middle position. Say for instance, then A has to be where. So as we know, the when we are facing north, left is towards the west. Okay. So second to the left means from B, the first left is this position, and the second left is the extreme left position. So if B is in this position, A has to be in the extreme left position. Okay. So as we understood that if second to the left means the number of people between them have to be 1. So if it was third to the left, that means the number of persons between them has to be 2. So that is also a point that we need to just figure out in these questions. And statements will be having immediate right and immediate left. I think that is easily understood from that concept that immediate left means where if for instance I'm taking in case of B, extreme left has to be this position. Okay, and extreme right has to be the other position. Okay, so these things also will be there in the statements. Now if you're moving to the next scenario, that is facing south. Okay, so that as well we can just discuss, and then we can discuss the questions as well. Now in the south facing scenario, okay, if we're just discussing that. Okay, so when the number of persons, if say I'm taking that there are 6 persons in total and they are facing south. So in case of south facing, as we know, the right and left changes. The left here will be towards the east. Okay, and right will be towards the west. Okay, so that is the important change that will be there when the persons are facing south. Okay, the other point, as we know, the left and right has changed, so extreme left and right also will be changed. So in this case, as we know, the extreme left will be this position. Okay, unlike the case in the north facing, and extreme right will be in this position. Okay, so this is the important concept that you need to remember. Okay, so always try to go through the question first, okay, and then see which scenario is that, and based on that, you have to get your right and left fixed. Okay, so easy one. Just remember the one case that is the persons are facing north, right is towards east, and left is towards west. And in case of south, it is directly the opposite. You can remember that like that as well, so that you can just get through the confusions that could come when dealing with these questions. Okay, so I hope that you got the basics right of this topic basically. Now I think we can just go through the questions to get a better picture of how we are going to tackle these type of questions. Okay. Now if we're just going to the first set of questions that has been now given in the screen. Okay. I will just rub it and we can just start with the questions. Yeah. Okay. So first we can just read through the questions. Okay. Then we can just see how we can tackle these type of questions as well. Okay. So if you're just reading the questions here, 7 people are there. Okay. As you can see, U, M, K, G, B, R, D. Okay. So they are sitting in a straight line and they are facing south. Okay. So first what we can do, we can just draw a basic diagram. Okay. To just get a clear picture of this scenario. So as we understood that there are 7 persons, so we're just drawing the basic diagram. So 4, 5, 6, and a 7. Okay, so total 7 people, all are facing south. Okay. Now we can just go through the statements that are being given. So if the first statement, if we're just going through, only 2 people sit to the left of B. So only 2 people are to the left of B. So there will be 2 type of statements. So some statements will be directly being given. Okay, some statement you can directly fix in the diagram, and some statements won't be like that. Okay, so if we are just going through the statement once again, that first statement, if you see it, it is a direct statement because they have told that only 2 people are to the left of me. So that point we can directly connect now. So if we just go through that, as we know, facing south, the left will be towards east as we know. So only 2 people are to the left of B means B has to be in this position. Okay, there is no other alternative for B. B has to be in this position. Okay, so B is been fixed. Now going to the next point, what does it say? M sits third to the right of G. So where is M sitting? Third to the right of G. So what we are going to do is we're just going to note that point in the side, and after just going through the other statements, we are going to connect it. Okay. So what was that point? M sits third to the right of G. Okay. So say I am supposing that the right of G is towards this direction. So what was the point? M sits third to the right of G. So that means the number of persons between them has to be 2. And after 2 persons, L will be. Okay. So here I am assuming that the right of G is towards this direction. Okay. Then third to the right means, as we discussed in the basic part, there will be 2 people between them. Okay. And M has to be in this position. Okay. Now going to the next point, U is an immediate neighbor of M and B. Okay. Now what does it say? U is an immediate neighbor of M and B. So that as well we can just note it down. So U is a neighbor of both M and B. So we can just note this point in this fashion, that this arrow basically means that the positions of M and B could be changed, but U is in the middle of both of them. So we have just noted that point there. Okay. Now moving on to the next point, what they have given, D sits to the immediate left of K. Okay. So that is also a direct point, that D sits to the immediate left of K. So if you are assuming that K is towards this direction, immediate left means the K is an immediate neighbor of D basically towards the left. Okay. Okay, so basically these many points are there. Then they have asked the last question, that how many people are sitting between D and K. Okay. Now what we can do is we can try and fix based on the 3 points that we have to get the final output. Okay. Now as we know, B is fixed. So the next point we can take is the point which is related to the person which we have already placed. Okay. Now if we're just seeing through, B is fixed. So point related to B was that U is an immediate neighbor of M. Okay. Now we have two scenarios where we can fix this U as a neighbor of M and B. Okay. So two scenarios. If we just to get a clear picture, what we can do, we can, since we have two options here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another alternative. Okay. Because in most of the cases we will have two scenarios there. So what we are going to do, we are drawing another basic diagram here. Okay, and placing B in this position as well. Okay. Now, as we just discussed, there are two options to place this point, that is U is an immediate neighbor of M and B. What all scenarios are there? So one option is that we can place U and M to the left of B. So this is a scenario. Okay, this is a scenario. Otherwise, what we can do, we can place U and M to the right of B as well in this scenario. Okay, so these two options are valid. Okay, so these two options are valid. So we have taken that as separate case. Now we can just try and connect the other points that are given. So they have given a point that M sits third to the right of G. Okay, if you're going through the first scenario, as we have understood that M, we have fixed M in a position in the first scenario. So the point says that we have to fix M third to the right of. Okay. So is in the first case, is it possible? No, because as we just saw, as we just saw that the right of G basically means in this scenario is to the west. Okay. So M is basically now fixed. Okay, so is it possible to fix M here? The first scenario, no, it is not possible to fix G. Basically, this point is not possible in the first scenario. Okay, the second case we can fix it. Second case it is possible. If you're fixing G here, we can directly relate this point that M sits third to the right of G. Okay, so in the second case it is possible, but in the first case it is not. Okay. Now we have another point to fix, that D sits to the immediate left of D. Okay, so that is easy in the second scenario. Just place K in the extreme part, then D has to be seen. Okay, so almost we have fixed the scenario. One person is missing in the second case. Who is that person? If you're just going through it. Okay, so it is basically R. Okay, so R we can fix in the last position. So as we understood that the second diagram is the perfect scenario. So second one is the final diagram. Okay. Now if we're just going through the question, what was the question basically? How many people sit between D and G? Okay. So if we're just seeing here, there are 3 people. So the answer has to be option 1, that is 3. Okay. So I hope that you have got an idea of this sort of question. Any doubts, you can just go through it. Okay, now we can move to the next question here. So here as well we have 7 people. So V, F, D, S, R, C, R. Okay, so basically the last person is P basically. So this person is okay. So this person basically is P. Okay, yeah. So we have 7 people, same scenario. Okay. So first thing what we can do is we can place a basic diagram. Okay, like we did in the last one. Okay, so we can just draw a basic diagram here. So we have 7 people. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 7. Okay. So now what we can do, we can just try and connect the points that they have given. The first point what they have given is only 2 people are between V and B. Okay, so we can just note that point in this side. So 2 people are between V and B. Okay. Now the next point what they have given, only 2 people sit to the right of V. So only 2 people are to the right of. Okay, only 2 people are to the right of V. Okay, so that is also a direct point because as we know south facing Since only two people are to the right of V, V has to be in this position. Okay, there is no other alternative. And what we can do is we can place the first point that they have given. Only two people are to the only two people are between V and P. That as well we can fix it. So P we can place in this position. Okay. Now moving on to the third point. D sits third to the left of us. So where is D sitting? Third to the left of us. So that we can just note it down. So D is sitting third to the left. So if the left faces towards this direction, how many people are between them? Two people are between. Okay, so we can just note that point down. And another point, P is an immediate neighbor of D and F. So P is a neighbor of both D and F. Okay, so the positions of, as we know, the positions of D and F could change. Okay, but P is between them. That is sure. Okay. Now moving on to the next point, C is an immediate neighbor of. So last point they have given that C is a neighbor of S. C and S are immediate neighbors. So that point as well we know. We have understood basically. Okay. Now what we can do is we can try and connect the points. Okay. So as we know, from which point we can start basically here. Yeah, D and F you can start because as we know, P is an immediate neighbor of both D and F. Okay. Now if you are just trying to place it, and we have another point that S is sitting, D is sitting third to the left of us. Okay. So if you are just trying to place D here and F here, does the point which is related to S work? We can just see it. So if you are just trying it, we can place S here. Okay, so by placing S here, you can get that point that D is sitting third to the left of S. So that point is valid here now. Now the another point was there that C and S are immediate neighbors. So that is also working here. Okay, so we have another person to fix here, which is who is that person? Yeah, so that person is R basically. So R will come between V and D. Okay. Now, what was the question? How many people are between S and P? So that is direct question. So we have got that. How many people are there between V and S and P? 3 persons. Okay. So the answer is here. Option 1. That is 3. Okay. So I hope that you got the solution of this set as well. Now moving on to the next one. Okay. Now next one. They have basically given 5 people and 5 people are facing north. So what we can do here first, we can draw a basic diagram like we did in the last sets. So first you can just draw a basic diagram. So there are total of 5 people. You have to make sure that in your mind you have fixed that here the right is towards east and left is towards west. Okay. Now going through the points, first point says that neither Q nor S sits in the center. Okay, so we can just note it down that Q and S are not sitting in the center. Okay. Another point, R sits adjacent to S. So that means R and S are neighbors. So they are sitting adjacent. Then R sits adjacent to S while P and D sit at the extreme ends. Okay. Now P and T are sitting at the extreme ends. We don't know exactly which position, but we can place P and T in this fashion. Okay. Okay, so these many points we have. So they have asked in the last point that who sits in the center of the row. So we have to just find that which person is going to sit in the center. Okay, so as we know, P and D are not going to sit, and Q and S also they have given that they are also not sitting in the center. So we have just a single point to fix here that R and S are neighbors here. Okay. Now it is understood that the middle position S is not going to be there. So that is sure that R is going to be the person who is going to be in the center. Okay, because we can fix S here or S could be here, but S won't be in the center. So for this point to be okay, that is 100% sure that R has to be in the center. Okay, so easy question. We can mark our answer as the second option here. Option 2, that R is going to be in the center. Okay, so in this scenario, we weren't able to fix everything, but we were able to answer the question that was being asked. Okay, so I hope that you got this question as well. Now moving on to the next set. Okay, so here we have a proper sort of set. So if we're just counting it down, we have 7 people who are facing north. Okay, the first thing we did in the previous sets as well is draw a basic diagram. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So the total of 7 people. So we can just note the points down first one by one. So what was the first point? H sits second to the right. So where is H sitting? H is sitting second to the right. So G, right of G is towards this direction. How many people are between them? Only one people. Okay. Yeah. Moving on to the next one. F and K are immediate neighbors. Okay. So that is also an understood point there. F and K are going to be the neighbors. Okay. Now, moving on to the next point. Both F and E are immediate neighbors of F. So basically I is going to be between F and E. So that is also understood from this point. Okay. Moving on to the next point, H and E are immediate neighbors. Okay. Now here one another point that H and E are also neighbors, immediate neighbors. Okay. Now moving on to the next point, K is an immediate, sits at the extreme right end of the. Okay, so this is a direct point, so we can just fix K here. So as we know, this is everyone is facing north, so the extreme right has to be in this position. So K is definitely here. Okay. Now moving on to the next point, what they have given, J is an immediate left of H. So J is sitting to the immediate left of H. So we have just noted that as well. Now what we can do, we can just try and fix it. Okay. So as we know, K is in the extreme right and F and K are neighbors. So F has to be in this position. So F is fixed here. Now moving on to the next point, as we know, I is going sitting between F and E. So I has to be here and E has to be. Okay, so that is also fixed. Now H is a neighbor of E, so H is also going to be here. Now where is J sitting? To the immediate left of H, so J has to be. Okay. Now we have to just fix one more person. The unknown person is here. The person which we haven't fixed here is G. So G has to be here. Okay, so G to H. Okay, that is also they have given. So that is also fixed. Now what was the question here? Who sits to the immediate left of G? So it is understood that left of G is towards west. So who is sitting here? G is sitting. So the answer has to be option 2. That is G has to be the final answer. Okay, hope that you are getting it. Now moving on to the next set here. Okay, now next set they have 6 persons, so we can just draw the basic diagram like we did in the last question. So 6 persons are only here. 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so going through the points here, first point says that A sits third to the left of F. So where is A sitting? Third to the left. So as we know, there are two people between them. Okay. Yeah. Moving to the next point, B sits to the immediate left of C. So where is B sitting to the immediate left of C, but not adjacent to F. Okay. So it is being connected. So what we're just reading that point once again. B sits to the immediate left of C, but not adjacent to F1. So it's been said with relation to B. So B is not going to sit adjacent to F or adjacent to A. So B and A are not going to be sitting together. Likewise, F and B are also not going to be sitting. Okay. Okay. Now moving on to the next point. D is not adjacent to A. So D and A are also not adjacent. So D and A are not going to be together. Okay. So these are the points that they have given. So what we can do now here is try and fix it. Okay, try and fix the scenario. So here, like the other cases, they haven't given a direct point. Okay, so we have to try and place it. So what we can do here is, so here what we can do is, if we are trying to connect it based on the basic diagram, it will make it difficult. Okay, because basic diagram is basically used when they have given a direct point or they have told that this person is sitting in the extreme left or right. Some sort of scenario. If a point is based on a position, we can use that scenario. Okay. But if we just see this case, they haven't given a point with respect to that. So what we can do here is we can try and connect the points. Okay, now from that what we can do, connecting, you can just try and connect it and then you can easily place it. Okay, so we are going to do in that fashion. Okay, now the point which we are going to take is based on f because we have a gap there. So if we are just trying and placing f here, as we know, a is sitting third to the left of us. So one person will be here, another person here, and a has to be in this position. Okay, now just placing this point, we have a total of 4 persons now here. Okay, now moving to the next point, what we can do, we have to place, okay, D and A are not together, immediate neighbors, they are not going to be. And B is not a neighbor of both A and F. Okay, and we have to fix a point that says C sits to the immediate left of it. Now to fix that, what is an option? What we can do here is, so what we can do here is try and fix B and C here before it. We're just trying and fixing it B and C there. These points are all okay. Okay, that is B is sitting to the immediate left of C. That is okay. Then F is not neighbor of B and A. That is also okay. Okay, now D and A are not going to be together. So what we can do, you can make D as a neighbor of F. Okay, so almost we have fixed it. One person is missing. The person is basically E. Okay, so we can just draw the basic diagram now. We have fixed the 6 people here. Okay, so we can just use the basic diagram now. Okay, so the position has to be like this. Okay, B, C, A, E, D, F. Okay, so this is going to be a basic diagram for the final diagram. Okay, now we're just trying to answer the question, who sits to the immediate left of D? So it has been understood that left of D is towards west, and who is sitting there? E is sitting. Okay, so the answer is easy, option B. E is going to be our final answer. Okay, so hope that you got the solution. Okay, so this scenario, what we did, unlike the other questions where what we did, we drew a basic diagram and tried to connect it based on that. But in this question, what we did was, since the point were not given based on the basic diagram, we tried to connect the conditions and then went to the basic diagram. Okay, so these two scenarios you have to be capable of doing. So just see the points, see the conditions that they've given, and based on that you can try and check a scenario which is suitable for that. Okay, moving to the next question here. Okay, so here they have given, they have 7 people, 7 friends basically. They are sitting in a single row facing. Okay, so like in the scenarios, we can first draw a basic diagram. Okay, so total of 7 people, 4, 5, 6 and a 7. Okay, so just going through the points. First point says that D sits to the immediate right of C. So where is D sitting? To the immediate right of C. Okay. Now the next point says that E and A are neighbors of F. So E and A are. So that means F is sitting between E and A. Okay. So that is understood. But the positions of E and A are not fixed. We don't know. Okay. Now next point says that F sits to the, sorry, B is to the immediate left of C. So B is sitting to the immediate left of C. And on the second place from the left hand. So and basically here denotes the condition for B. So B is sitting second place from the left hand. So as we know, left hand here is left is towards west. So left hand is here. Now second place means B is here basically. So if B is here, you can directly fix C because B is sitting to the immediate left of C. Okay. And the last point says that A is in the extreme right hand. So that is also a direct case. So A we can also fix it. Okay. Now we can fix the other points based on that. So EFA is understood. EFA, that arrangement is okay now. C to D, okay. C to D as well we can fix it. That D is sitting to the immediate right of C. Okay. So this diagram is also fixed here. we have to fix a person that is G. G has to be in the extreme left hand. Okay, now what was the question? Who are the neighbors of G? So as we see that we have only neighbor of G is who? B. So answer has to be B here. Answer has to be B. So the neighbor of G is B here. Okay. Hope that you are getting it. Okay, now moving to the next set. So here we have only 5 people. So we can just try to fix it. First, what we can do, like the other sets, we can first draw a basic diagram here. Okay. The first point says that A sits second to the right of B. B. Then it says about B. B who sits at the end of the. Okay. Now A sits second to the right of B and B has to be sitting in the end of the row. So that simply means that which end B is going to stay. So that means to the right B has to have a space. So B has to be sitting in the left hand. So B has to be here. Then only we can fix A in second to the right hand. Okay, so that is understood here. Now the next point says that C sits to the immediate left of it. Now where is C sitting? To the immediate left of it. So for that point to be okay, E has to be in the extreme left hand, then only extreme right hand, then only that point would go. Okay, so here as well we have fixed the conditions. Now person missing here is D basically. Okay. Now what was the question? Who sits second to the left of C? Now second to the left of C is basically here. So this is also an easy set. Answer here has to be B. Okay, so hope that you are getting it. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to discuss a circular arrangement. Okay, so I hope that you got an idea of this linear arrangement. So as we said in the intro part, there are two sort of forms of question that could come. The one form is that the persons all are facing north. The other scenario is that the persons who are there all are facing south. Okay. Now moving to the circular arrangement. Here in close figures, the right and left is little bit different. Okay. So that is the first thing we are going to discuss before going to the question. The two scenarios will be there in a circular arrangement. One scenario is facing the center. That means 6, 7 or 8 persons will be there. They are going to face the center. So facing the center, question will be saying like this, that they are facing the center. Otherwise, they will be saying that they are going to face inside. Okay, anyone scenario will be saying. So facing the center or facing inside. Okay. Now here the right and left is what we are going to discuss now. Now, if you're just going through this, the right and left is an important scenario here. Okay. So facing inside, you have to remember that if you are going to clockwise, we are going clockwise here means going to the left, and going anti-clockwise means going to the right. Okay, so this is an important thing that you need to remember. Okay, so facing the center or facing inside, if you are going clockwise direction, you are going to the left. If you are going anti-clockwise, you are going to the right. Okay. And next scenario basically is the scenario when we are the next scenario. Next scenario basically means that when we are facing outside. Okay, the condition will be in the question like this: facing outside. Okay, otherwise facing away from the center. Okay, that also could be given. Okay, facing outside or facing away from the center. Okay, any one scenario would be given. So in this scenario, the right and left is directly opposite. Okay, now in this case, facing outside scenario, you have to remember that if you are going clockwise here, we are going to the right. Okay, and if we are going anti-clockwise, where we are going to the left. Okay, so this is an important thing that we should remember in this scenario. If you are facing outside or facing away from the center, if you are going to clockwise direction, you are going to the right. If you are going anti-clockwise, you are going to the left. Okay, and the first scenario, as we discussed, facing the center or facing inside. In that case, if you're going clockwise, you're going to the left. If you're going anti-clockwise, you're going to the right direction. Okay, so easy case. Just try and remember one scenario facing the center or outside, which is comfortable for you. The other case you have to remember it is directly opposite. Okay. Another point that we have to discuss is if, say, if in a circular arrangement, even number of persons are being given. So even basically would be if a circular arrangement is having 6 persons or it could be 8 persons. So both these scenarios, okay. So if just remember if there are even number of persons, we have to you can arrange the diagram in anyhow, okay, any manner you can arrange, okay. But a condition that you have to just remember that is you have to place a person opposite to another person. Okay, so this is if I am just drawing a basic diagram here. Here, what I have done is drawn a diagram in which there are 8 people. So you need not try and connect in this fashion. You can try and connect in any other options as well. But the thing that you have to remember is that you have to place a person opposite to the next person. Okay, so that is important. Every person has to have a person who is opposite to him. Okay, so in even number of person, that is a point you have to remember. As you know, in case of odd, that is not possible. So if odd number of persons are there, you need not to try and see out that condition. But if there are even number of person, we have to place a person who is opposite to another person. Okay. So these are the basic things that you need to remember in case of circular arrangement. Okay. Now what we can do is try and discuss a few questions to get this concept a bit more clear. Okay. So we are going to the first question here. If we just discussing the question here, what all points they have given. The first point is that 6 persons are there and they are facing the center. So what we can do here, we can draw a basic diagram first here. Okay, so 6 persons are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so like we said in the last point, if 6 number of persons are there, we have to face a person which is opposite to every other person. Okay, so this is an apt scenario because every person has a person opposite. Okay, now going to the points, first point says that Reena is to the immediate left of me. Okay, so what we can do is just note it down and then try and connect it. So Reena is sitting to the the immediate left of Pink. So the left of Pink is towards this direction, Reena is to the immediate left. Okay. Another point, Bhana is between Reena and Shiva. Bhana is between Reena and Shiva. Okay. Next point is that Himanshi is between Pinky and Nimki. Himanshi is also between 2 people. So Himanshi is between Pinky and Nimki. So Himanshi is also between these 2 people. Okay. So these are the 3 points that they have given, and based on this, we have to try and connect. Okay. Now, another point you have to just remember in case of circular arrangement is that not everyone's diagram would be the same when we are just looking. In case of linear arrangement, as we know, everyone's diagram will be the same. Okay, because we have a fixed position there. But in case of circular, that is not possible. Okay, so the advantage with circular is that you can start from any point. Okay, any point you can start. If the conditions are okay, everyone's diagram will be the same when we are looking from a point in the clockwise on the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so what we are going to do, so based on the conditions that they've given, we can just try to start from Pinky. Say what we're going to do is that we're going to place Pinky in a position. Say I'm fixing Pinky here. Okay, now what do the point says? Reena is sitting to the immediate left of Pinky. So as we know, facing inside, the left is towards the clockwise direction. So Reena has to be here. Okay, so that is fixed. Now another point says that Bhana was between Reena and Shivani. So what we can do, we can fix Bana here and Shivani in this position. Okay, so that is fixed. Another point is there, Himanshi is between Pinky and Nimi. So what you can do, you can fix Nimi here and Himanshi. Okay, so what we have got the arrangement here easily. Okay, now what we can do is try and answer the question. So what was the question here? Who sits to the immediate left of Shivani? So who is sitting at the immediate left of Shivani? As we know, left here is clockwise. So immediate left means who is sitting here? Nim is sitting. Okay, so that is the answer here. So the answer has to be option 3. Okay, third option is the right one. Third option, Nim is the final answer. Okay, so hope that you got it. Now moving on to the next set here. Okay, the next set says that there are a total of 6 people. So, like in the last one, what we can do is try and place a basic diagram. Okay, so 6 people here as well, facing the center, same. So 6 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everyone has a person opposite to him. Okay, and facing the center, as we know, left is towards, sorry, clockwise is left, anti-clockwise is. Okay. Now we can just try and connect the points one by one. So first point says that Rajiv is sitting to the immediate right of me. So Rajiv is sitting to the immediate right of movement. Okay, but he is not to the immediate left of Vijay. Okay, so for whom it is being sold, set basically for Rajiv. So Rajiv, but he is not to the immediate left of Vijay. Okay, so basically Rajiv is not to the immediate left of Vijay. So immediate left of Vijay, Rajiv is not there. Okay, so that we have just noted it down. Now the next conditions, if we see, Chandar is sitting between Babu and Vijay. Okay, so Chandar, when we fix him, we have to fix him between Babu and Vijay. Okay, so that as well we have just noted it down. Then next point says that Ajay is sitting to the immediate left of Vijay. Now Ajay has to be seated to the immediate left of Vijay. So immediate left of Vijay, we have to fix Ajay. Okay, so these are the points that they have given. Now what we can do is we can just try and connect it. So which is the point that we can use here? So we can start off with Vijay. Okay, so I think more connections are based on Vijay. So we can just try and fix Vijay in a position. So say I'm fixing Vijay here. So we had a point that Ajay is sitting to the immediate left of Vijay. So as we know, facing inside means left is towards the clockwise. So Ajay has to be here. Another point says that Chandan is between Babu and Vijay. So Chandan we can fix here. Okay, and Babu can be fixed. Okay, now the another point what we have, okay, now Mohan is to the immediate right of Rajiv. Okay, Mohan, Rajiv has to be the immediate right of Mohan. So where we have to fix Mohan, we have to fix Mohan here, as the right when facing inside is towards anti-clockwise. So we have to fix Rajiv. Now, if we are just seeing through the conditions, every condition is satisfied in this diagram. Okay, so what is the question that they had asked? Who is sitting to the immediate left of Mohan? So, who is sitting to the immediate left of Mohan clockwise? If you are just seeing it, the person is Babu. Okay, so the answer is fourth option, Babu will be the final answer. Okay. Okay, now moving on to the next set. Here there are 5 persons. So what we can do start with the basic diagram. So as we said, if the number of persons are not even, we can fix in any manner. Okay. Okay. So 5 people are there. Here as well, everyone is facing the center. Okay. Now we can just go through the statements. First statement says that Mukesh is to the immediate left of Rajesh. Mukesh is sitting immediate left of Rajesh. Okay. Now next point says that Vijay is to the immediate right of Anil. Vijay is sitting to the immediate right of Anil. Now and between Anil and Nagesh. Now Vijay is also sitting between Anil and Nagesh. So Nagesh is going to be here. Okay. Okay. So last question say being asked is immediate right of Nagesh. Okay. So what we can do, we can try and fix this condition here. Okay. So we are going to start with Anil. So what we can do, we can start with Anil. Okay. Now Anil, person sitting to his immediate right is Vijay. So right here is anti-clockwise. So Vijay has to be here and Nagesh also has to be. Okay. Now we have to fix this first point. That is, Mukesh is sitting to the immediate left of Rajesh. So Rajesh has to be here and Mukesh has to be. Okay. Now what is the question that is being asked? Immediate right of Nagesh. So we can see right of Nagesh is to the anti-clockwise direction. So we're sitting here. Mukesh. Okay. Oh, sorry. It was not Mukesh, Mukund. Okay. So anyhow, we have got the answer. The answer here is fourth option, Mukund will be the final answer. Okay. Hope that you got it. Now moving to the next set. Here, as we can see, there are 6 people. But everyone is facing outwards. That means outside. Okay. So first what we can do, draw the basic diagram here. Okay. So 6 people are there. Okay. Now just noting out the points. First point says that E is between B and C. Okay. So E is between B and C. Okay, now A is sitting to the exactly to the right. A is sitting to the exact right of. B and F are opposite. B and F are sitting opposite to each other. Okay, so these are the points, and they have asked person sitting to the immediate right of B, basically. Okay, so what we can do is try and fix it. So we can start with basically B. Okay, so immediate right of B we know A, and the person opposite to B is F. Yes, so let us draw it. Now we can try and fix the BEC condition. That is also fixed here. The person who is missing is D. So D we can fix it. The question is being asked who is sitting to the exactly to the right of D. So as we know, in this scenario, the right is towards the clockwise. So the immediate right of D who is sitting F. Okay. So as we can see in the first 3 options, F is not there. So the answer has to be option 4, none of this. Okay. Now moving to the next question here. So here as well we have 6 people, but 6 people are facing inside. So what we can do, first draw the basic diagram here. Okay. Drawing the basic diagram, say 6 people are there. So what are points they are given? First point, P and R are exactly opposite to each other. So P and R are opposite. Okay, now U is between P and S. So U is sitting between P and S. Okay. Now another point, S is to the immediate left of R. S is sitting to the immediate left of R. Okay. Okay. Next, T is not opposite to S. T and S are not opposite. Okay. So these are the points that they are given. So we can start with the arrangement here. So we can fix P and R here. Okay. P and R, we are fixing it here. We know the person to the immediate right of R is S. So here the right has to be anti-clockwise. So S has to be here. PUSR. U is between P and S, so U has to be here. Okay, so that is fixed. Now we have to fix, okay, T is not opposite to it, so T has to be here. Okay, so almost the arrangement is, we have got, Q has to be here. Okay. What is the question that being asked? Person opposite to U. The person who is opposite to here, U here is T. Okay, so T as well is not there in the option. So the answer has to be 4th option, that is none of this. Okay, so easy set. So if you are okay with the right and left scenario, and also try and place the conditions. Okay, so which point to start with, that also is clear. You can easily arrange the questions. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. Here we have eight people. Okay, eight people are there in this scenario. So what we can do first, draw a basic diagram, and everyone is facing inside. Okay, so everyone is facing this inside. Okay, so when drawing, you have to just keep in mind that eight persons even. So everyone has to be a person which has a person opposite. Okay, everyone has to have a person who is opposite to the other. Okay. Okay, now going to the points. First point, what they have given, that E sits second to the right of. Now E is sitting second to the right of. So the right of C is towards this direction. E has to be here. Okay. Another point, two people are between E and A. That as well we can note it down. Two people are between E and A. Now the next point, F is not an immediate neighbor. So F and G are not going to be neighbors here. Now B is sitting opposite to D. So B is opposite to D. Okay. Now going to the next point, G sits second to the left of it. So G is going to sit second to the left of it. Okay. And the last point says that D and H are not immediate neighbors. So D and H are not going to be immediate neighbors. Okay. So these are the points that they've given. Now, from which point we can start? That is an important sort of a doubt. So here, if we are going to start, there are two scenarios. Okay. So what we can do here is try and draw two diagrams. Okay. That will make it a bit more easier. Okay, now what we can do, we can start with C. So the first point says that E is sitting second to the right of C. So if we are just placing C here, okay, I'm placing C here. So E has to be facing inside, the right is anti-clockwise. Okay, so E has to be here. Okay. Now, two people are between E and X. So we have two scenarios here. So we have to draw two diagrams. Okay, so E has two options, so that's why we have drawn two diagrams. Okay. So the first point we have noted, the second point is also. Okay. Now we can go for the other points, which we can try and connect it here. Okay. So what all points are the ones which you have to note or connect it. So you have to place B and D. So B and D are going to be opposite. In the first scenario, if we see the opposite vacant positions, we have only few options here. So here we have an option. Okay, that is neighbor of. We can fix B and D here. That is an option here. Now in the second diagram as well, neighbor of C, that is position which is vacant here. Okay, B, D could be fixed here. Okay, so this is an option here. Okay, now okay, another point that they've given is that F and G can't be together. Okay, so that is a point, and D and H also couldn't be together. Okay. These two points are there. Then we have a point that G is sitting second to the left of it. Okay, so if we're just trying to fix G here, okay, in the first case, if we're trying to do it, so what is the option to try and fix G? So we have to go to the left, fix G. So one scenario is here. If I'm placing H here, G has to be here. Okay, so this is one scenario. Any other options? No. Okay. So if H is coming here, we know D and H are not immediate neighbors. Okay, so what we can do here is we can try and fix B and D based on that condition. Okay, so we have understood that if this condition has to be okay. Yeah. this condition has to be okay, B has to be here, and D has to be the first case, that is okay. Okay, and then another point was there, F and G can't be together. Okay, so we have to fix anyhow F here. So that is also the conditions is okay now. Okay, D and H are not okay. D and H are not together. B has to be opposite to D. F and G are not together. Okay. So all scenarios we are getting in the first diagram. Okay. So no need to try and connect the second diagram, because the first diagram itself we are getting the required, all the conditions are being meted in the first condition. Okay. So the first diagram is the right one. Now discussing the question that they have given, they have asked what is the position of C with respect to A. Now, with respect to A, we have to see try and connect the position of C. So there are two options. Okay, when going to the right or left. So if we are seeing the number of persons are less when we are going anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise here means right. So we can say with respect to A, C sits third to the right of. We can just look if that option is there. No, third to the right is not there. Okay, now the other option is going to the clockwise, that is to the left. So going to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth to the left is an option. Okay. If we're just going through the options, that is there. Okay. So we are, what is the answer here? Yeah. Our answer here is option B, fifth to the left. Okay. So if they are asking the positions, you have two options. So mostly one option would be there in the option. You can mark. Okay. I'm moving to the next set. Here as well we have 8 people. So what we can do here is first try and draw the basic diagram. Okay. So we have 8 people. Everyone is facing the center. Okay. Now going through the statements here. First statement says that A sits third to the right of D. Okay. Now A is going to sit third to the right of D. So that means 2 people are between them. Okay. C is sitting to the immediate left of A. Now C is sitting to the immediate left of A. Okay. Next point, F is between G and H. Now, F is sitting between G and H. Okay, that is also okay. Now B is sitting second to the left of it. B is sitting second to the left of. Okay. Now the last point says that H and A are not immediate neighbors. Okay, H and A are not going to be neighbors. So we have to try and connect it. So what we can do, we can start with D. Okay, now when starting with D I am placing here. The point says that A is sitting third to the right of it. So here, as we know, right is anti-clockwise. So A has to be. Another point says that C is sitting to the immediate left of. So here left is clockwise, so C has to be. Okay, that is also fixed. Now we have to try and fix the other conditions. They have already solved that H and A are not going to be neighbors, so H we can't place here. Now we have to try and fix G, F, G, H. Sorry, G, F, H. So if H is not here, the option is to try and place G here. Okay, then F here and H. Okay, we're not sure that this is okay, but we can just try and see based on the other conditions. So this is, for now it's okay. Now we have to try and fix B and D. Okay, so what was the point? B is sitting second to the left of it. So if I am placing E here, what we can do is try and place B. Okay, so this condition is also meted here. Okay, any other issues? H and A are not together. Okay, that is being taken care of. Okay, so almost every condition is okay here. So this has to be the final type. Okay, now they have asked a question: who is sitting second to the right of F? If you're just seeing F is here, right means here anti-clockwise. So the person who is sitting here is D. Okay. Yeah. So going through the options, the answer has to be option C. Okay. So hope that you got the arrangement here. Okay. Now moving on to the next set. So next set is basically a parallel seating arrangement. Okay. So it is not based on circular. So this is also a type that has been occasionally asked. So That's why we have only placed a single question here. So in parallel, in the intro part, they have given a briefing on how we are going to arrange it. Okay. So we're just going reading it through. They have already told that there are a total of 8 people who are going to sit in 2 rows, row 1 and 2. Both the rows are parallel, so that's why we are saying this arrangement as a parallel seating. In row 1 is to the north, okay, of row 2, and the 4 people who are there, they have told A, B, C, D are the 4 people who are sitting in row 1, and P, Q, R, S are in the row 2, and they are facing north. Okay. So what we can do here is first draw the basic diagram. How will it look basically? This is how it's going to be. Okay, so 4 people are facing south, 4 people are facing. Okay, they will be also opposite, sitting face to face in this scenario. Okay, so as we understood that the row one people basically are facing south. So this A, B, C, D has to be in the row 1, and row 2 people are facing north. So PQRS are going to be sitting below. Okay. Now going through the conditions or the points that they have given. The first point that they have given is R is sitting opposite to C. As we know, R and C are opposite. We have noted it down. Okay, next point, one person between A and the one who faces us. One person between A and the one who faces us. Another point that they've given is C doesn't sit at any end. So we can just note it down as well. That means C is not going to sit here and C is not going to sit here. Okay, so C is in the second or the third position. Now, next point what they've given is okay, S is also not sitting at any end. So S is not going to sit at these two positions. So we can eliminate that scenario as well. Okay. Now the next point they are told that the one who faces P sits 2 persons away from it. We can just note it down. The person who is facing P. So we don't know who that person is. Okay. So that person sits 2 places away from it. 2 places away means that between D and that unknown person, only one person is there. Okay, so 2 persons away basically means between them, only one person is there. Okay, that is the point that we have to understand that. Okay, the last point says that Q is doesn't sit to the left of. So if Q is not sitting to the left of P, then obviously Q is sitting to the right of P. Okay, so that is understood from that point. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to try and connect it. Okay, so that is the next thing we have to do. Okay, now while connecting it, from where to start? That is an important thing. Okay, now we have a few points. Okay, but from exactly where we are going to start, that is an important scenario. Okay, so we had a point that the person facing S and A, they have a person between them. Okay. So we can start from that point because as we know, S is not going to sit at any end. Okay. Now, if we're just trying to connect that from that point, okay, we're just trying to connect it. So one scenario says that S, if we are fixing it here, the second place, then A has to be in the end, this position. Okay. So another scenario could come. So what we are going to do, we are going to draw another diagram. Okay, now the second case, what is the option? We can try and place S in the third position. Then A has to be in this end. Okay, so 2 scenarios are there. So for that, we have placed 2 conditions. Okay, so that is fixed. Now what we can do, we can try and place the another condition. So this point we have fixed it. Okay, so this condition is being fixed. Okay, now moving on to the other conditions. C and R are opposite. Now C and R we can fix it because the first case if we see, we know C is only going to be there in the second or the third position. So it is understood that C can't be in the second position now because The person who is opposite to that person is S. So C and R we can directly fix in the first case. The second case as well, C and R is being fixed. Okay, that is also okay. Moving on, another point is there with respect to P. That means the person facing P and D, between them only one person is there. Okay. So if we're just seeing that the first case, if we see P has to be in this end, okay, then only we can fix D here. The second case as well, where we have to fix P has to be fixed here, then only we can fix D. Okay. So we're getting the conditions. The last point now says that we have to fix Q to the right of. Now, if we see in the first diagram, we are going to fix Q to the left of P. So that condition is not going to work. So the first diagram is wrong. But in the second diagram, it is okay. We are getting that condition. So the second diagram is the right. Okay. Now, if we're just seeing, we have to place B in this position. Okay. So this diagram is the right one. Okay. The second diagram is the right one. First diagram is the wrong. Okay. So I hope that you got it. So easy sort of a set parallel as well. You just look through the conditions, okay, and try and connect it. Okay. Now they have asked a question as well, which we are going to do here. So who among the following persons sits opposite to the one, okay, who sits two places away from? So first what we have to do, we have to see the person who is sitting two places away from me. So as we discussed, two places away from B means that between B and that person, only one person. So technically that is, what they are asked, who among the following sits opposite to them. So technically we have to find the person who is sitting opposite to C here. So opposite to C is R. So easy question. Answer here is option C. Okay. So they hadn't asked this question directly, but if you are get the language of that question, you can easily do this as well. Okay. So these were the questions that we had planned for the seating arrangement. Okay, so I hope that you got a basic idea of this topic. Okay, now try to solve as many questions as possible and try to get the basics right. Okay, so in this topic that is important, as we discussed in the intro part as well. Facing north and south, where is the right and left? Circular seating as well, inside facing and outside facing. Right and left is towards where. Parallel as well, that is an important thing. When we are facing north and south, right and left is there. And trying to connect the points which they are given. Okay. So these things you have to just keep mind of and try to do as many questions as possible. Okay. So you're doing that, and if your basics are right, you can easily crack this topic. Okay. So hope that you got it. So we are winding up for today. Thank you.